Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, students. For today's session of SAP, the second session of SAP, we will be starting in a minute. We have a Nagraj sir with us for the session. Nagraj sir, you can proceed with your class, sir.
Thank you, Kunal. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah. So I don't think we have any uncovered questions, Kunal. Do we have
What,
any
sir?
questions? Do we have any questions which have not been
Uh,
answered?
sir, we have some question I have already posted. You can able to watch that. Oh, no, sir.
Okay.
Still now, no question has been posted.
Okay. That's why I saw published was 0. Okay. So, okay. So I completely understand that probably things could have been a little too much for, yes, it'll definitely take some time. Don't worry. Absolutely don't worry about the time what you take to understand the uh, product. But here the main focus was on the learning of the concepts. See, we do not expect that you need to immediately start working on the system. But yeah, a fair knowledge about about the usage of the system, the different terminologies. Probably in asset accounting, you have come across so many new terms. But see, the beauty is how you convert all your business language into SAP related language. That is all the secret of learning the subject. Nothing more. Whatever is happening in the business, see, after all, what is SAP? SAP is you are converting the business into the product. And you can see how beautifully the product is designed, how very intelligent the system is. And as far as I have worked on the project, as I have said, the knowledge is always the limitation. So even before you say something no in SAP, if somebody asks you if this can be delivered in SAP, the most toughest answer for us to give is no. Because even before we ever tell the customer that this may not be possible in SAP, there were instances where the people now are so very knowledgeable about especially the end users. They come up with such beautiful questions and which also sets us into a thinking mode. Especially when we talk about the end users in say Netherlands. We had a wonderful experience when I was working for a telecom project where the end user in one of the instances raised a ticket, raised an issue as regards to process. Why? Because he had understood the SAP system so very well from the end user perspective that he wanted to get a few answers. So we consultants had to discuss about the process, how we had to understand the system. We had to understand the configuration. We had to get into so many reports and finally get back to the end user with the answer. So it is forever a learning process. It is forever a learning process. Please be prepared for it. It is now once you are equipped with all such basic uh, things in SAP, you are you are supposed to jump into the constant learning mode. Of course, now it is applicable to each and every field. Okay. Okay. Coming back to the topic which we discussed. So we had stopped at the financial statement versions. So what was the program? It was RFVILA00, which was behind this particular program. Okay, and you saw the what should I say? So you saw how the consultant created the financial statement version. So you saw me creating an item called other assets or something I created. And I also brought in the set of general ledger accounts, which were supposed to have address to the other assets, whatever may be the transactions. It could be the capitalization, it could be the depreciation, it could be the sale, it could be the whatever. All right. Now, so we also discussed about AUC, the concept of your internal orders. So don't worry about the internal orders because it is beyond the purview of our discussion. Okay. So I was just talking to about how practically we deal with the AUC concept, assets under construction. Here now, did I have to show something? No. So now we will straight away get into. So what is the next topic? So our next topic is controlling organizational structure, which we have already seen. Creation process, bank related accounting process. Should I take it up now? Okay, first let us get into the. So we have finished with this AR receivable business process, and we have also finished the asset accounting business process. Okay. So we have finished with the AP process. GL, of course, we have finished. Finance organization masters data. Anything which we are supposed to do? Financial creation, not a problem. Treasury and risk management. Let us have a sample. See all your other topics which we have just left. As I said, your treasury itself is a huge module. So we saw how the asset accounting sounded. Do you all agree with me? So similarly, your treasury also is, I'm nowhere saying that it is complicated, but definitely it does take time if at all you want to get into that topic. See the asset accounting also, we have lots and lots of other things which we can cover. Okay, so but I have just left it at a very basic because the course doesn't ask you to master the topic. It is just for you to get into, and I have also shown you the consultants processes with regards to every topic. Also, I've gone to the SPRO side and shown you how things are done by the consultant. Okay, so let us just read through, and what I was trying to tell you is, see, I need to tell you what is a portfolio, how it kickstarts. It is just for your general reading. See, as you can see, I doubt if you have any demonstration or even the practice slides for these subjects, for these topics, because I will tell you the logic. They are so very in-depth topics. But see, controlling, account, parallel valuation. Yeah. So your accruals and deferrals also we have seen. What way? Recurring entries. Recurring entries. We have seen that, right? And that is your last topic, which we have already finished. So he has given you the what is the objective, what is the purpose. Okay. So all the slides which like your treasury and risk management, your even your financial closure. Okay. So just read them through for your general understanding. See, there are so many other terms, market risk analyzer, hedge management. So you don't have to actually and see the combination of uh, the other modules. Okay. So you can just read them in your free time whenever you are interested. Core treasury process, connection to the other modules. Just read them through. What is hedging? What is the process of hedging? What do you mean by that? How it is handled in SAP? See, as you can see, there is no demonstration and your practice slides because it is not possible. Let us try to understand that. Because if at all the discussion starts on your treasury and your risk, I need to discuss the whole module, which is never ending. Okay. So we'll look at the bank related process, maybe say tomorrow. We have something called as your BRS, bank reconciliation statement. So we have already seen what is segment, seg underscore A, seg underscore B. Yesterday we saw how it gets into the profit center master data. The bank guarantees. How have you seen this concept? Your down payments, your advances. So I took up an example of your down payments. This is exactly how it is dealt. See, there is no direct reference like it is a down payment. All right. But we have definitely finished with this. Retained earnings account. I don't have to tell you more on this. See, again, treasury management. BRS. Okay. Oh, we'll talk about BRS probably say tomorrow. We have seen AR process completely, AP process also. Inventory valuation. See, inventory valuation also, this also will not have any practice or your demo slides. It is all your FIFO, LIFO concepts, how they are brought into. What is this moving average price? Have you seen when we were talking about how I relate this moving average price to SA? I will tell you. We have already seen. Where have we seen? While we operated a transaction in the USD currency, you saw I was updating some table. 85 rupees, that rate, USD rate. So what was the rate that I was using? I was using the moving average price. You will see now a reference to a thing called as M in SAP. So somewhere or the other, see, all your reference to your see, there will be no practice or your demo slides because everything is theoretical. OK, so that is why you will not have the so fixed assets we have just finished. Opening and closing of periods also we have seen. Where have we seen posting period? Yeah. I will come back to this closing cockpit once when I finish with this. So we have seen the financial statement versions also. Trading partners, just read them. What is a trading partner? Whom you are doing your business with. As simple as that. It is just a theoretical explanation. That's it. Here again, you will not have any demo or your practice slides. OK, please, it is all theoretical. It is all theoretical. I have nothing to show you on the system side. See again, you will not have any demo or your practice slides. So some of the topics here, they have designed just for the general understanding. So this is the place where we set this moving average price. When I was using the multiple currencies. We have seen the slides. OK. Chart of accounts we are comfortable with. Mapping of accounting standards. So you saw the concept of parallel ledgers. Clear? Now, I think we will come to the business processes. So we'll start with our procure to pay cycle, integration, SAP Fi integration. Quite a very interesting topic, but it involves the combination of the different modules. We have already seen the example of your asset accounting, where we spoke about a concept called as your account determination. So what was account determination? It was the mapping of the general ledger accounts to the relevant module. Yeah. So where did we do it? As far as the asset accounting was concerned, we did it in a transaction code A090. Remember, I showed you the list of all the general ledger accounts. So from where the entry was actually happening without the user actually getting into the transaction. He simply took up that option and posted the entries. It could be capitalization, it could have been depreciation, it could have been retirement. Yeah. SAP Fi integration. Understand the integration with these modules. So as you can see, the Fi module is the common factor as far as your integration is concerned. Why? Because all the transactions have to get recorded in your books of finance, books of accounts, and that is why your finance module becomes very, very important. Clear? So he has given you some slides. Go through them. We have also seen the interaction between your FI and CO module. cost elements. What was that? That was also a GL account. So we converted the P&L nature GL accounts into the cost elements. Clear? So you can see the org structure. Here just pictorically represented the concept of integration with the different modules. SAP SD integration, SAP MM integration, HCM integration. See, there is something called a symbolic account, nothing but a GL account. Okay. PP integration. So here you can see that you need to have a consultant of the respective module to really practically get into this. Because as you can see, routing, recipe master, BOM, bill of materials. Okay, a CO document gets generated. Clear? So all these things they have to, if they have to practically happen, you need to have the settings to be complete in all the respects as far as the other modules are concerned. SD, MM, HR, PP, PS, whatever integration you're talking about. All right. So you cannot expect you to be an expert in all these modules. Fair knowledge of these modules comes along with the experience. Okay, but please always make a note that you cannot replace the consultant from another module. Clear? Because there are so many other scenarios which probably you may not have faced. Okay. Procure to pay cycle. This is just reading the document. I will show you when it comes to the practical side. I will tell you. So where does your procure to pay cycle start? P2P cycle. Business processes. P2P. So how does it start? The first and the foremost step is the identification for the requirement for the materials. Means the user department should start asking for the required materials. How do they ask? Purchase request. So what is a purchase request? It is simply a document where the user department requires sends in the requests for the items to the purchase department. Clear? Now, this purchase request, what happens? Now, you identify the set of vendors, you scout the market, and you identify the vendors who can supply this item of the required quality and at a competitive price. Correct? So these are the two things what you would look at in your vendor evaluation. You can also call this process as vendor evaluation. So you evaluate your vendors on their competence. What is the quality that they can supply? Are they supplying the goods on time? And are they pricing the product fair enough? This scouting is done by the purchase department. So once your vendor is identified based on all the characteristics, what happens? You formalize your contract with your vendor through a document called as your purchase order. Clear? Now, once you have reached the stage, what happens? The vendor supplies the items. So the vendor starts supplying the items mentioned in the purchase order. Okay, so once when the vendor starts supplying the items, okay, I will write down the goods come into your organization, the goods come into your stores. How is it recorded? It is recorded through a transaction called MIGO, M-I-G-O, goods inward. You can also call this as goods inward. Goods inward. Okay. Now what do you do? After you receive your goods, okay, you quality test whatever you do it. Now the vendor sends across an invoice for you to make the payment. Correct? Invoice verification process. How does this happen in SAP? Okay, so this is the first interaction with your finance module. So after this invoice verification process gets over, what happens? The entry comes and sits in your finance module as a liability. Your KR document comes and sits here. Since we did not see from the process, okay, so this is similar to your KR document. So the invoice is getting recorded in the SAP system. And what is the ultimate result? The final impact of this transaction is the entry comes and sits in your finance books as a liability. That is, you need to make a payment to the vendor. So what is the last step? Payment to the vendor. How does this happen? You are very familiar with this, all these transaction codes. F-53 or your F-58 or your F110. This is your P2P cycle. Purchase to pay cycle or procure to pay cycle. By whatever name you want to call. Okay. So this is your P2P cycle. Interaction with FI integration with MM, with MM module. Clear? So let us read all these tips. So he has given you, this also is theoretical. When it comes to the account determination, I will tell you. In this case, your account determination happens through transaction code OBYC. Now, even before you touch this area, there are so many other things what you need to know from the other side. You have concepts of your valuation classes, valuation areas. Okay. All these are your concepts. Valuation areas, valuation classes, where there is a concept. How are you valuating your raw materials? Are you valuing it at the company code level, or are you valuing it at the plant level? There are two concepts. Okay, just hold on there. So what is the advantage and the disadvantage? We will talk to it only when the time comes. So he has just taken up a business case. He has taken the example of a car manufacturing unit. You will see the slides appearing in every cycle. Okay, so you don't have to worry. So he has briefly discussed about the business. Okay, please read them through. All these are your normal accounting terms, nothing else. How it happens in SAP, I will tell you. Procurement to pay process, see, require that this is exactly the cycle which I have written down. Requirement determination, source determination, vendor selection, order follow-up, goods, invoice verification, payment. All right. So he has described the flow in detail. You will see the slides. You will see the description of the flow in every integration cycle. Clear? What is to be supplied, where, when, where, all these are. You can read them through. A purchase order is created. Okay. The PO is sent for approval. So there is a concept where the PO, the purchase order, has to be authorized. Let us say I need to purchase items worth around, say, some 50-60 lakhs. So isn't this expenditure really a huge figure? So it has to undergo an approval from the finance department. So based on the value of the purchase order, there are people at different positions in the company who could actually take up the responsibility of authorizing the purchase. Yeah. So this is your PO approval for internal approval. So your purchase department also approves, and further it goes to the finance department for their approval. Okay. The approved PO issued to the supplier becomes a legally binding document. So this is a, as I said, contractual document, okay, which is agreed upon by the supplier and your organization. So it is all very generic. Okay. So he starts applying, it comes to the warehouse. So all these, I don't have to check. The same thing in a different graphical representation. Request for quotation, tendering, price negotiation, purchase order, PO approval process. PO is issued to the supplier, invoice verification. So after the PO is issued, it goes to the goods receipt. So the goods receipt is a process where your goods start coming in. Your vendor starts supplying the items. So quality check. Then your invoice verification. It goes to the finally it goes to the supplier. Finally, it goes to the finance department, sits in the finance books as a liability, and finally closes after your supplier gets paid. Okay, so your purchase request, same thing. There are also other elements, EOQ, reorder point, safety stock, all these things, yes, explain. Bill of material. Okay, bill of materials is actually a combination of your PP module is also involved. Okay. Lead time. What is a lead time? What is a buffer stock? What a buffer stock or your safety stock? So everything probably you would have already read it in your accounts books. And probably you will know the calculation also. Reorder point, when we do reorder. Okay, don't bother about all this. Bill of materials, everything is put down in English. In ERP based on 3 levels of data. One is your master data and the transaction data, which we have already seen. So we have already gone through the description as to what is a master data, what is a transaction data. Yeah. You'll have to just go through this. But you can see there is also a demo and a practice slides. See here, there are certain typical terms: purchasing organization, purchasing group, storage location. So these are all the typical creations of your module team in the project. Okay, you as a finance consultant would never be creating this purchasing organization, your purchasing group, or your storage location. Yeah. So there is also something referred to as a plant, which we have already seen, created by the PP module. Okay. So what is a plant? The place where your production activities take place. That's all. PR, PO, GR, IR. Okay. This is very interesting. This could be very, very interesting because I will tell you. Now, even before you get into all this, there are certain concepts which probably could be very, very interesting. Like I said, I brought in the concepts of something called as a valuation areas, valuation classes. See, your material could be valuated at the company code or your plant level. What is the advantage? I will let the SAP answer that. I'll take you to the SAP screen. I'll come back to the demo. After I show you this, I'll come back to the demo. So typically your consultant's activity, of course, not the FI consultant, but I'm just taking you to a place where you can see material management, general settings, material block. Where is that? See your purchase requisition, your purchase order. This is where we come into picture. Account assignment. Okay. You have something called as a just hold on. I'll show you whatever is only required. So you have something called as account determination. Account determination with wizard and without wizard. We'll see the with wizard. Okay. Now, even before that, you need to understand there is a concept of valuating the material. Let me just give it. Let's wait. I don't know why this find function is not working. Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes. I don't know what is wrong here. Not a problem. I wanted you to see there is a place where you can allow the system to evaluate your materials at your company code level or at your plant level. So it is generally a conception that evaluating the material at the plant level is far more advantageous. Why? Because if at all there is a transaction happening at the plant itself, let me assume a scenario where my customer's place where I need to supply the goods is maybe say 2 to 3 kilometers from my plant. So my customer can as well pick up the material from my plant itself. The material need not have to come into my stores, and from my stores doesn't need to get dispatched to the customer. So he can as well transact from the plant itself. So this is supposed to be more flexible. Suppose you have an understanding that, okay, there could be a difference in the price also. Okay, so it plays a lot of it has a lot of impact where your material is actually valuated. Material can be valuated, just know, because I'm not able to show it to you on the system. Let me pull it out from the uh, navigation. So generally speaking, valuating a material at the plant level is far more flexible than valuating your material at the company code level. Yeah. Yeah, finally token. So you can see define valuation areas, accounting, double click. Just hold on. Choosing. Just hold on. So many things. You have another important concept called as your movement types. I will tell you that. I will tell you what is a movement type. Okay, I will do it when I find it. No, not a problem. Okay, now, so we're up valuation and account assignment. This was the place where I was account determination. So valuating the material becomes a critical factor, and valuation class. Now you had your account groups, right? You had your vendor account groups, your customer account group, GL account groups, asset classes. Similarly, to classify the nature of materials what you're buying. You could keep buying your raw materials, your semi-finished goods, your fabrication materials, your spares. Okay, so based on the nature of materials, you have different valuation classes in SA. So where you categorize your nature of materials. I will show you. So you have something called as 3000, 3000, what and all. Okay, just like you had your normal, like your KUNA, KRED. Remember KUNA and KRED? Similarly, you have this valuation classes also predefined by SA. Clear? I will show it to you at the appropriate place. Now let us go. Your movement types. There was another interesting thing called as your movement types. This also has a connection. Movement types, that is, suppose your material is going out of your premises for some fabrication activity. You're sending it out to another vendor who does the fabrication job and sends it back to you. That is another movement type. So this material, the movement has to be tracked. Clear? So what happens if within your organization itself, your material moves from your cost center A to cost center B for some operation, for painting, for something, fabrication. So these are all necessarily trapped in SAP through something called as your movement types. Just let us go through the demo. What has he got in the demo? He will start with the purchase request, I guess. See, you will see the transaction code ME51. He creates a PR. So what is this? He is creating a PR. As you can see, it is starting with an M. So it is a material management transaction code. OK. You will see the material number. How do we know the material number? We don't know. OK. So plant, do we know? We don't know the plant also. This is all created and this is all the responsibility of the consultant. So you would have created some material with this code M500A00. So this would be supplied from this plant 1000. So there is a purchase request number. Can you see at the bottom? PR number 100012 was created. You have successfully seen how to complete the creation of a PR. So as of now, no financial impact because there is no money involved. So how was the PR created? ME51N. Creation of a purchase, create PR, purchase requisition. Okay. Not responding. Okay. So you saw the screen, right? Material, quantity, delivery date, planned. So this is how, if at all I had the data, probably I could have created it. Okay, since I do not have the data, I simply can show you the screens only, how it actually happens. Let us go back to the demo. Please go through this demo. It is very useful. It'll give you a complete picture about all the topics. Okay. Whenever you can find time, I would suggest please go through. There is another demo. This could be your purchase order. Creation of a purchase order using T code ME21N. I've already noted that in my Excel sheet, ME21N. Typically, your transactions relating to your MM model. See your purchase organization, purchasing group. So I know the company code, but how do I know the purchase organization in the purchase group? I don't. See. So these are all the necessary inputs for us to create a purchase request. See, there was a PR number 10012. Now he's linking this purchase order to the PR. PO to PR. See, there is a purchase request on the left. See, M500A00. You have successfully seen the creation of a purchase order. Show it to you on the system. ME21N. See, I need to know the vendor header. In the header, I need to enter the, forget about it. PO quantity, the delivery date. Just visit all the tabs so that it could be a very good information. So you can understand what are the things in your you saw the purchase organization, purchase group, and the company code. So this is how you complete the purchase order. See all the contents in all the tabs. Okay, so you complete this purchase order and save it. So there will be a PO number, just like your PR number got created. You will also have a PO number getting created. There is again a demo. What is this demo? Could be your, you will see how to create a GR, MIGO transaction. Very similar to your invoice entry. Nothing big. So you enter the transaction code MIGO. The purchase order number has got created with a number 4500002. You can enter the purchase order here. OK. And see, it will pick up all the information in the purchase order. You can see down there. OK, it has picked up the raw material A00. See, the storage location should have got created. So you should be very careful. There is a message here. You will notice that once you post or save the MIGO transaction, you cannot make any further changes to it. Saw the message? I have been telling this to you time and again. So once the data has been created in SAP, that is the end of the story. So there is a accounting document will also, there is a material document which gets created along with the accounting document, the MIGO. You will see how to check the accounting document. You will see how to display the MIGO transaction, GR. See document information, and you will see the accounting document. See FI documents. But I cannot show you this. See, all these are happening automatically because of your account determination. Just remember this. Just remember this GL accounts 3 lakh and your 191100. I will show you how this GL account will be mapped. What is this MIGO? First, you must know that you are recording the transaction goods inward, inventory debit. OK. I am simply keeping silent on which account is getting credited. OK, I'll come to that a little later. Again, one more demo. This could be your payment. This could be your MIRO, invoice verification. Similar to your payment, see MIRO. Same thing like your invoice entry. See document 51000. Something has got created. So what is the document type? You have now successfully seen how to complete the incoming payment. Purchase to pay. One second. I will just show you the transactions. MIGO, MIGO. What is this? Your goods inward. Your stores are coming into your goods. Your goods are coming into your stores. So you are referring this transaction with your purchase order. So based on the purchase order, the goods are coming in. MIGO. Can you see? I need to have a reference to the purchase order. I need to enter the purchase order number, which I do not have. And once you enter the purchase order, you will see all these fields getting populated based on this purchase order information. The material, everything will come into picture. Okay. See goods receipt. Was there anything else which I wanted to show you? Yeah, are there any purchase orders? See, there are no purchase orders also. See, so that I can take an example and then show it to that also I can do. All right. Now your MIRO, MIRO, invoice verification. Isn't this very similar to your other document? Here again, you enter based on this purchase order, you are making a payment. So once this transaction is successfully saved, it creates a financial impact. So what is the impact here? The impact is this particular transaction comes and sits in your financial books as a liability. So this is when the finance department knows that this particular payment has to be made. Clear? Now, yes, you can definitely prepare your cash flow and the funds flow. For that, I need to get into the treasury mode. Okay. Suspense account. To be very honest with you, I have not used it till now. Okay. Can we create GR in Migo for those PO which are created in Ariba or HANA? Why not? Yes. Can we create you are creating a GR in Migo only, na? Goods receipt is done in Migo. Yes. Probably I may not be in a position to explain the process, but it should be definitely be possible for POs which you have created in Ariba or in HANA. Yeah. You can. So when you're talking about HANA, you already have it in the SAP system. So where is the concept of you creating a GR? You have already created a GR in the HANA system, no? SAP system itself. Yeah. So PO is already created in HANA. So what is HANA? Nothing but an SAP system. Okay. Now, Kunal, can we break for 5 minutes? Madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. We'll
So
take
now
a
it's
quick.
3:10. Yes, sir. So it's 3:10. We'll resume by 3:15, sir.
Sure,
We'll
ma'am.
take a
Sure.
break of 5.
Sure. Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Students, please take a 5 minutes quick break and be back by 3:50. Sir?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Yes, sir. We can resume, sir.
Yeah, sure. Now, what did we see? We saw the process of MIGO and MIR. The most important thing, the account determination process. I have written down the T code OBYC, but believe me, there are a lot many more things to be done even before we even talk about OBYC. Okay, but as far as your finance intervention goes with, or the finance integration goes with the MM module, we can, on the surface, we can just say it is OBYC, but that is not the complete in itself. Let me straight away jump to that transaction code OBYC. OBYC. So I showed you with wizard and without wizard. This is one of the examples. I will take you to the same. So I will go to the SPRO. You can see the account determination with the wizard. See, valuation areas, valuation classes, movement types. OK. So you don't have to understand this or be responsible for creating this. No, it is a job of the other consultants. So with determination wizard, configure automatic settings. OK, now even before that, we will see with the wizard. I'll tell you how to use the wizard. Now here there is a very interesting concept. See, now we looked at the valuation or rather the account determination in the form of GL accounts. When it comes down to the account determination as far as your SD modules are concerned, they are happening through something called as your transaction event keys. Can you see this? So for each, I'm just showing you an example of the wizard. OK, I will show this to you when I go to the other thing. When I straight away get into OBYC. Now this 3-character event key gets understood as a transaction form, and you have your general ledger accounts there. I will tell you. I will simply say continue. Just try to understand the flow. That's it. See, company code, plans, material. So we can understand this as a company code. Or let me go back. Material types. See. So he's taking you into how to create each entity. Of course, we are very well aware. So I won't click on anything. I'll say continue. I have nothing to do. Continue. Chart of accounts, I would say INT, the standard. Now we will see how this INT chart of accounts is getting mapped. Because I am not aware of the plant or anything like that, because he's talking about another plant CN01 in some other system. All I'm doing it, just say continue. This is your transaction event keys. You saw that AKO and all, right? See? These are your valuation classes. Clear? They're all created. Standard the 7920, 7900, 3000. Okay, they're all created by SAP. You have just seen the wizard. Now I will get straight away into the transaction. These are your transaction event keys. Correct? You saw this AKO, AUM, PSX. Normally, these are your, see, for your inventory posting. So for your Migo, this is your transaction event key, which triggers. How is this particular transaction event key? I said previously your account determination was happening when we spoke about your asset accounting. The general ledger accounts were assigned in the particular place, in the particular table. Now this assignment is happening through a transaction event key. Double click. It will straight away ask you which is a chart of accounts. I will retain this in INT. Can you see the general ledger account? See? These are all your purchase related accounts. You can see the FS00, 3 lakhs. You can see that. See your raw material one. Yeah. So all these GL accounts in your material management accounts. They are of the group material management. And if you see, they belong to the category material accounts and they are post automatically only, meaning these general ledger accounts cannot be used for manual transactions. Suppose you want to buy this raw material and you're debiting this GL account in your voucher. It will not accept. It will say it is wrong. I will show it to you. What is the significance of this post automatically? I will show. See, it says does not exist in GM01. Okay, let me enter it and okay, I will copy this first. I'm not changing any of the properties. Can be posted to internally only. Can you see this? This is because you have this post automatically only. So slowly I am exposing you to the other contents of your GL account master. So once when you have this box, it has to necessarily come through the account determination process only. You cannot use the GL account like this. The user cannot post directly into this general ledger account. It will stop you. It has to necessarily come through the integration part. Clear? So did you understand the significance of this checkbox? And where was I? I was in the other screen. So this is your valuation, evaluation class. 3000 is for your raw materials, 3001, 3030. So 7920 is for your semi-finished goods. How do I know? It is out of my practice. So I think there is another 7000 or something, which is for raw material too. So like this, whatever your customer is likely to transact with, you are creating a valuation class. You are categorizing the nature of the material which you are using under the specific valuation class. Who does it? It is the MMP. So this is how your BSX, which is your transaction event key, getting assigned to the specific general ledger accounts, which is all your material related postings general ledger accounts. Okay. So even before you even talk about the what should I say? The whole process of the integration, you should be very, very aware of the things what is happening in the background. How you are going to, so like that, if you see the whole of OVYC, you will see that based on the nature of transactions. So normally for our FI consultants, BSX, we are more used to this BXS. GBB, offsetting entry for your WRX, which is your GRIR. Then PRD, which is your price difference. Whenever there is a difference, what is the price difference? You have agreed at 100 rupees per piece in your purchase order, but he is supplying it to you at the rate of 110 because of the sudden surge in the price. So how will SAP handle this kind of a situation? Okay, so you can see that for each kind of a transaction, see. So for each kind of a transaction, you will see that there is going to be a transaction event key, which is being mapped. So I'll double click on this. We'll have to set it up for each of the valuation class. Okay, we need to set up the debit or the credit GL accounts. So you can see that for each of the see, I said one more key, right? WRX. WRX, can you see GRIR? Goods receipt, invoice receipt, clearing account. I don't want to disturb the system. So if I say, I'll take the risk. Okay, I'll go to INT itself. Soda. What was it? GRI? Was it WRX? You were checking WRX, right? See, this is your GRIR clearing up. So whenever there is a MIGO transaction, your inventory account gets a debit because inventory is getting boosted, and the account which gets credited is this GRIR clearing account. So in your MIGO, what is a transaction which happens? I will tell you what happens in SAP. Your inventory account. So what is the transaction event key? So your inventory account gets a debit. Your GRIR clearing account, your will be getting a credit. This is your entry when you do your MIGO. So in your MIGO, this is a transaction which occurs. So this happens through the GBB transaction event key and through this transaction event key WRX. So like this, based on the nature of the transactions, as far as the material is concerned in your organization, you are setting up your OBYC. Clear? Yeah. So this is your GL account. So your 3 lakh is your, what was the GL account? All right. Did we see the transactions on this GL account? How do I locate this transaction? Just hold on. I'll pull out a document which shows this entry. Okay. What could be the document type? related. I don't know how I can trace it out, but this is your entry. And how was this GL account picked up? It is because of your OBYs, your clear. So how you connect your GL accounts in different modules. The same thing happens with your O2C cycle also. All right. Now, so after you can understand the process. Order to cash, very, very similar. So you can see the business cycle. There'll be an inquiry, a quotation. Both these will get converted into something called as a sales order. There is a billing document. There is a goods issue. There is a goods issue, then a billing document takes place. Then this will come and sit in your, as soon as the billing document is released to the finance module, it comes and sits as a data. So the customer becomes liable for making a payment to you, to your organization. It is only when this specific document is released to accounting. OK, so just let us read through the process. You can see the same business cycle. So you can see the same business example, car manufacturing. So some of the slides are repetitive in all the cycles, HR, PP. So contract, your inquiry, quotation, sales order. OK, then your billing document, delivery, then invoice. All these things, they see billing document. Just like your purchase request. So in each of the cycles, it is called by a different name. In your sales and distribution, it is called as quotation. In your or an inquiry, in your it is called as your purchase request. So you can see some of the things out here: bill to party, ship to party, pay to party. OK, sold to party, whatever. So what is this? Now suppose you have your concept of your sister concerns. So where there is a centralized payment. So let us imagine the goods will get supplied to the individual company codes, but your head office is taking up the responsibility of making a payment on behalf of the company codes. Centralized payments. Clear? Or maybe one of the company codes could be identified as a point where it takes up the responsibility of making a payment on behalf of all other sister concerns. So you have the concept of paying company code and the receiving company code. That is different. Now sold to party, shipped to party. Now the customer comes in, books a sale, and I need to supply. So the party may be booking a sale in Bangalore. Okay, I may be shipping the goods to Kolkata or maybe say even to the US. I may be getting paid from the Bombay office. I may be billing for the same sale. I may be billing to a person in Mumbai. So like this, so each entity will be your Kolkata office will be to ship to party, bill to party will be the Mumbai party. Okay, so like this, you have different concepts. Bill to party, ship to party, sold to party. Okay. What is a credit check? Something very similar to your, but here it is a combination of your FI and your SD member, SD consultant. Your credit terms, your credit, it is called as credit check. I will tell you where exactly it is created. Just a moment. There is a thing called as credit limit or something. Wizard was cancelled. Okay, never. See this credit control area. This is in combination with your SDPP. Okay. Can include more than. All right. So I just showed you the place where credit check. Okay. Availability check, your order scheduling. Please read them through. It is very, very typical your English explanation for your general business, what happens with or without SAP. Okay, the only thing which is specific to SAP is your account determination. All other things probably you would have already come across. It is all for your reading. Okay. So just like the people created the purchase organization, these people create the sales organization, shipping point, distribution. So, okay. So these are the typical terms. It is, let us see what is there in the demo. Probably this could start with an inquiry, create a sales order. Okay. VA01. VA01 is for the sale order. So as you can see, there are a lot of other SD related information, sales organization, distribution channel, division. So something very much similar to your PR, your PO. Okay. Your sales order is your VF01. Your sale inquiry quotation is VA01. Your sale order is VF01. Sales order is created. So as I was telling, please go through the demo and the practice slides. I try to understand the process, try to get familiar with the typical SAP terms, create a quotation. VA21. All your non-FI transactions typical to SD. See, there is something called as a quotation type. Okay. So which we would not be known. What is this item 22? Material 22. Headlight. 10 quantity of headlight has been ordered. See how beautifully the course is designed. This could be your sale order, VF01, billing document, VF01. Okay. Billing document is VF01. Sales order is VA0. See, can you see a flag here? This is your release to accounting flag. So only when the billing document successfully gets created and the user presses on this flag, it gets released to your accounts as a data. Okay. The accounting document will post the invoice values accordingly to their respective general ledger accounts. So where are these general ledger accounts found? You can see the entry out here. Display document. Can you see some GL accounts, 8 lakhs? Now, where is this? So you found the GL accounts as far as your MM module is concerned, getting mapped in your transaction code OBYC. Okay. Now you will see this. What is this demo? It could be your payment release, is it? Incoming payment F-28. I think we have already seen this F-28. When we are receiving the payment from the customer, it is your F-28. You're very familiar with this. What is other demo? Outbound. That's higher to return. We will look at the so where do you map the GL accounts as far as the FISD integration takes place? Okay. You saw some GL account 8 lakh. Where is that seen? You see this in the transaction code VKOA. Should I explain all this? No, forget about it. So here again, as far as your SD module is concerned, they are getting mapped through the accounting keys, standard condition types, KOFI. Okay. Can you see this? GL accounts getting mapped. Chart of accounts, INT. They're not mapped for INT, is it? Okay. So you can see the reference to the standard general ledger account. What is the general ledger account? It is your sales revenue account. sales revenue account. Clear? So this is how your mapping takes place. This is how your integration takes place. Most important thing what you need to know is not the creation of your sales order or your purchase order, whatever. Good to know. I'm not denying that. Good to know things, but the point here is how you map your general ledger account and what should be the nature. See here also, if you can see, this should have been actually post. It is called a revenue account. This has to necessarily come. Let me take this one 80100. It has to have been necessarily like this. OK, so that these entries have to automatically flow. And whenever I want to use this for my regular postings, it should not allow me to do it. You saw when I tried to post into my what was that? The purchase account. It stopped me from doing it. Correct? The 3 lakh which I tried to post, it didn't allow me. So this is your brief introduction to your integration. Tomorrow we will just read through the HR and your P2P, same things. All you need to know is some concepts. OK, and especially from the finance side, you need to know how things need to be set up. Any questions? Can I prepare? Can use a suspense account? Can we create? Yes. See, with Wizard, the system has automated the process of your mapping, of your integration. So you can learn how the configuration has been set up. Just like what you saw in your course content, the demo slides, your Wizard is something very similar to that. OK. How many pieces can be used to log in with the same user? It's only once. One system, one unit, one user. The next system cannot be logged in using the same user ID. It says it is locked. I will show you. Can we generate it? Yes, you can generate. Yes, tomorrow I'll do that. Tomorrow I can definitely give you a heads up as to what has happened. OK, now I'll try to log in. How do I try to log in? I'll try to log in with the same user ID, same client. It will end the session. It will kill the session. I need to exit out. It will close all the sessions. Close is logon and end any other logons in any other system. So I cannot have 2 logins with the same user ID and with the same user ID. I need to close one of them. Saw this? So I can log into a specific system only once. I have not explained all this. because probably it may not be relevant. It will become too much of a explanation. So not required. Absolutely not required. You need to know how this is happening. That's it. So as far as your FI and SD is concerned, all right. Madam, if we have no other questions, we can wind up for the day.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. So students, that's all for today's session. We'll end the session now. Wind up the session now. And tomorrow, be present for the session. Tomorrow is the last session for SAP. Okay, sir. So we'll wind up for the day. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all
Thank you.
students.
Thank you all.
Thank you all students. Have a nice day. Thank you.